We'll see about that later. Okay, good day, lovelies. It may have been a short minute. We are doing the reading for Mercury retrograde, but as well, we're going to do the reading for the solar eclipse that's coming on tomorrow because I am recording now on the 19th of April. And we know Mercury retrograde a lot of times affects us in our communication. That's how we see Mercury. And we see the planet as moving backwards, but it's not really moving backwards, it's that we're moving at a different rate. So it's like the illusion when you're sitting still and somebody moves and you feel like you're moving backwards or vice versa. This is what's happening right now with the planets. And it may have an effect on how we communicate and how we see things. So I'm going to start out firstly by telling you I pulled some oracles and we have here water, right? So this is water. And water in this oracle deck, which is the mystical shaman oracle, is in reference to what water represents. You know, rebirth. It represents cleansing. It represents a newness, renewal, or like I said, cleansing. But I'm going to read to you from what is written here. It says water symbolizes purification, right? Regeneration, birth, revival, and cleansing. It signifies an evolutionary shift. Okay? And so this is about making real change. You know, from what you were formerly, now you're becoming something new. And it has many myths around the world, speak of a great flood, and the new life that is revealed after a deluge, right? So whether you see it as a myth or this is a part of your faith, know that this story of the flood, the cleansing, and beginning again is universal. This is a message that has been in many different lands by many different people with many different names. Okay? It says, when water arrives, we are invited to, pardon me, watch your emotions. Know they are going to be changeable. So we're going through an eclipse and also Mercury retrograde right afterwards. Be very careful how you respond to things. Be very much self-aware. This is a calling to really, really pay attention to oneself, okay? And it's telling you that, in that you may feel joy and that you should lean into it, and they advise that you feel it fully, as well as if you feel sadness. Allow the sadness to wash through. If you're grieving, allow yourself to grieve, purge that out, wash, go in the shower, get a good ugly cry. If you've experienced loss, appreciate and understand that and lean into it. Okay, this is a time for this with the water card coming up, and also it's perfect for the eclipse in Mercury retrograde. That being said, both this is about dealing with oneself. Okay, the medicine here, which is the suggestion, it says this is a time for cleansing unwanted energy and sticky feelings. Consider this: what water does to the flesh, it does in sacred ritual to the spirit. The spiritual cleansing, like baptism, is the opportunity to get an instantaneous experience of the timeless, non-ordinary reality in which all true creation takes place. Now is also a time that is pregnant with potential for you. Carl Jung talked about the maternal, womb-like significance of water as a universal symbol, okay? It says water represents the potentiality of existence. It precedes and sustains every creation. Emerging from it is manifestation. Immersion in it is dissolution of form, okay? Because of this, it symbolizes regeneration. Make way for the process, okay? Make way for it, all right? It says you can expect it to be messy but worth it. So understand that this is going to be a process like usual. So you have to be prepared, okay? With the water sign coming up, we're going to deal with the emotions. We're going to deal with it in intelligently. We're going to deal with it control, right? We're going to have some exercise self-control, but we're going to release. And when we have joy, we're going to lean into it, but we're going to be very much what? Self-aware. We're being called to be very much self-aware. And in the other oracle, this is from the map, pulls the bone collector, which is card 1 in the map. Let me put that, let me just leave that there for a minute, because I want to tell you about the bone collector also. And at first I was like, wow, this is very interesting that I pulled these two, but it is pertinent. And the bone collector is in reference to, it means you are whole and have everything you need within. It's dealing with the inner person, the inner being, which is very important and is very relevant. It is quite interesting, okay? That we're dealing with a time of a total eclipse, a time of renewal. We're dealing with the Mercury retrograde, which has to do with our communication, how we're perceiving ourselves, how we're going to be perceived by others. It's how we're going to deal with not only communicating, miscommunicating, misunderstandings. It's a time for us to go deep within ourselves. During Mercury retrograde also, a lot of past issues may come up, past circumstances and thoughts. And this is where you're going to see whether you've had real growth an experience where you have grown stronger. It's going to be a bit of a challenge for some of us. If you have been putting in the work and leaning into making your life better and leaning into change, then the things that come that may create a little interruption will not feel so harsh. So if you find you need to get a new job, yet you've been looking for a job, it's not going to affect you as much. If you've been setting yourself aside and separating yourself from certain people because you're looking to level up in life, the loss of friendships won't affect you as much. You understand? If everywhere you go you travel with an umbrella, if it rains, you're not worried about it. For those who were not prepared for the shift and the changes that are coming, this is going to be very disruptive time. If you have been going along life and it's been feeling pretty much easy, you may find the challenges, even if they appear small to others, may feel great for you. So you'll have to analyze and self-analyze right now. And it reads here, it says, when the bone collector appears, this is asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you fully present or reacting out of past conditioning and unconscious expectations. I am so sorry, the city. Okay, are you fully present or are you acting out of the past situations? And what I just mentioned, we're talking about Mercury retrograde, we're talking about miscommunication, stuttering, all of these things, and these energies are already in the air. Understand, you get a date for Mercury retrograde, it doesn't mean that, not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, we're going to have problems. No, the energy is already in effect. It's just like when you're driving and you want to go reverse, you have to first, the system goes through from drive to neutral, then into the reverse. So there is a period where there may be some not so clear moments. Okay, so this is very important that we are present, that we pay attention. You know what's bothering me right now? And I don't know why I did this. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have my reading glasses. I don't have my glasses, so it's like difficult for me to see. And it's kind of foolish because, like, hello, I'm the one who needs the glasses. That's why you see I'm pausing because I'm sprinting. I'm like, what am I looking at? But I know generally what the cards mean, but I wanted to give you something more in depth. Sorry about that. So we're going to be dealing with those emotions, and the cards are already pre-shuffled also. And as I did type, and look, I am already making errors because I put Mercury retrograde, but before the retrograde, we have the eclipse. And I rolled the astral dice also to give us an idea what we're dealing with. And here we are in the 8th house, dealing with Taurus, dealing with the Taurus, the sign of Taurus. And Taurus is about the things that need to be done and things that we value, right? And so we're about to have Mercury retrograde in the earth sign of what? Taurus, right? It's going to start in Aries, but it's going to live through Taurus. And this is very much about the material world, our finances, and the things that we value. It's a good time to analyze, reanalyze How are you handling things? Are you spending too little, too much? Have you been investing where you should? Are you secure where you are? Have you been feeling secure? Should you be looking for a job? You should always be looking for a better opportunity, even if you're happy where you are. Because sometimes we're happy because we don't know that we can be fed better somewhere else. And sometimes we become unhappy because we have lost our appreciation for what we have, and that also allows us to create a balance in our lives. And so it's very important. And we know that in the South Node, this is about the things that we may have experienced before in the past, right? So we have had experiences from the past. We expect for certain things to work in our favor, and they may not 100% do that, because this is a time, right, in the eighth house. This is a time of transformation. So there may be some transformation, some changes in your work life, right? The eighth house is naturally ruled by who? The sign of Scorpio. Scorpio ruled by Pluto. Also, Pluto's been downgraded, but Pluto is very serious. This is where bullcrap goes to die. This is about self-analyzation. There are things that are going to be removed from your life and from your plans that are going to make you have to reassess and reevaluate. But on a better level, it's as if it's going to push you to a point where you strengthen where you need to be strengthened. So where you have weaknesses, you're going to see them. They're going to become painfully obvious for some of us, and for others, you may feel that you have already been putting in the work, like I said. So if you already been exercising, if you already been trying to quit the bad habits, and you've been restricting your TV time, whatever it is that you need to do, having to make a little bit more adjustment or having it be required right now will not affect you so greatly. So you see, that's what I want you to see. I want you to see the hope and the possibility. Understanding the South Node means that this is something that may have been natural for you. So before, you may have worked and expected the money to come a certain way. You might be pushed to work differently. You may be pushed to pull away from. So be prepared for whatever may come, my dears, okay? And so, and since we have the eighth house that's associated with the card of death, this feeling of this eclipse with the Mercury retrograde is giving me the feeling of the Tower card, which is sudden disruption or sudden change. And it may feel that way. But for those of you who expected it, it will not be so sudden for you. Oh, first card out, look at this. This is the emotions in Gemini. This is also about, oh wow, I didn't even think this card is so interesting because this is about your open enemies. And when I say open enemies, there may be people in competition with you and things that are coming up, people who are backbiting you, people who have been manipulating. Okay, I'm going to turn it this way as well because I noticed that screen didn't turn sideways. People may have been manipulating. So there may be a feeling of disheartened. You may feel disheartened, but what did I say? If you have already been pulling away, reanalyzing your life and realizing that certain people, places, or things no longer fit, the disappointment will not really be that great. It'd be like, oh, well, that's kind of, that's sad, but, this is life, and you're going to move on, right? I'm going to tell you something. Most of you are going to do very well in this transition. This is a good time to learn new skills, new skills, read up on money, different kinds of money, because there's going to be some major financial disruptions also, because having a Mercury retrograde in the house of Taurus, understand, is about material goods, it's about land, it's about the things that we value, and Taurus is ruled by Venus, the things that we love, right? And Venus makes everything more beautiful, but then if you have a lot of miscommunications, you may have a lot of misunderstandings. So if you start to have misunderstandings and arguments, please, for the love of God, do not take anything that happens in the next 2.5 weeks. Do not take it too personal. Make note of it, and then try to leave things as easy as possible. So, we'll talk about it in a few weeks. Let me let this energy that's in the air, that's in the universe, let's let this wash over. Let's think things through, okay? What's the next card? Wow, look at this. It is something. And what did I say? This is contemplation. This is figuring it out. This is Cancer in its place of a feeling of melancholy. It's not it's not discontent, but it really does feel these two cards together as if it's wow. I think like honestly, do I have a better word at this very moment? I do not. Just even what I was thinking and feeling with the astro dice, I'm seeing it right here with the cards. It's, oh, they were saying that about me behind my back. Oh, they really don't like me. And here it was, I was thinking I might have to make some changes because I don't want to hurt other people's feelings. And it's disappointment. Okay, it's disappointment, but I'm free now to figure out what I really want to do. I'm free now to see who I really value. And look at that. There's the beauty. When we have the six of pentacles showing up, we are going to be in positions where we're going to have things balanced in our life. You're going to receive where you need it, and you may be put in a position where you are able to give, but you are looking for what? Reciprocity and balance in those relationships. And in this time with the eclipse in Mercury retrograde, things are going to be exposed. You understand? They're going to be, and things that were pent up are going to be released. But this is going to be calling, with the sun here. And this is very interesting that this card reads Sun in Gemini, because Gemini dealing with the duality, dealing with the twinship, I should say, dealing with the familiar, dealing with communication, also dealing with those you love, because this is going to be something that's important to you, and that's why there is some disappointment, because if it wasn't important, it wouldn't matter. You understand? We tell ourselves sometimes it doesn't matter, but it does matter. It just doesn't matter as great, right? You don't necessarily love your coworkers, but it's disheartening to hear that they were talking poorly about you behind your back. It's not nice to feel as if you've given a certain energy and been genuine, and people have not respected that, but you're looking to balance things out. Things are going to turn in your favor. Dag on it, look at this. And this is my card under the advice card, and here is the lovers. I was just talking about Gemini here, right? And this is also the card of Gemini, and it's not only about the love intimate relationships, it's about choices, it's about our relationships also with our siblings. Okay, so understand, seeing the lovers card is not just lovers, but this is creating some disheartening. Somebody, let me tell you something. Some of you also maybe finding things. There's certain truths that are going to come out in your relationships. And see, I love this for you, for me, for all of us. We show up here in this reading. We show up here as the Queen of Coin. Queen of Coin, one who's able to create stability and security, someone who's grounded, down to earth. And here we have the card of Victory. This is about intellect, okay? I want you to know it's about intellect. It's about clarity. It's about clarity of communication. It's also great symbolism of strength. It's a symbolism of great success. And what I like about this, it says that, as I was saying, we're going to actually, we have the emotions of pain and disappointment. We're going to allow ourselves to deal with those things. We're going to allow ourselves to grow from those moments. We're going to allow ourselves to be grounded, and we're going to still take care of ourselves. We're still going to be stable, still going to be beautiful. And in being this, we are successful. The jealousy will be greater. The pain for others will be, if you're the focus, the problem is, if you're the focus, they're not focusing on their own self. And so there it is. There's that tower. What did I say? I was feeling the tower, and the tower shows up here. This is foundational. I want you to know right now what everyone's going through. On some level, if you're not dealing with the loss of a loved one, you're dealing with the loss of even respect, maybe even for somebody you thought. You may have seen them as someone who is high-minded or powerful. You may have been in a relationship that you were starting to let go, and you thought it was bad already. Then you found out after you already broken up that they actually cheated or they stole money, and then you felt a certain way about it. And there was some ugliness that happened. But understand that this ugliness leads you to be even stronger and even appear more beautiful, because people are looking at you. Even though you're going through this, people are seeing you, seeing your dignity. Because if you're here, the advice for you is to live in that dignity, right? Because it's coming, all right? Also, also, which is very, very interesting, because now look what I did. Because I pulled this. I say I have the Tower, and then we still have the Wheel of Fortune. And actually, the Tower should have gone under the Lover's card. So I'm going to do that. And I want you to know that things are going to turn in your favor. It reads the same. It doesn't matter. Because with this, you're going to have to deal with your relationships, your interpersonal relationships, your romantic, your friendships, those things. It's going to create disappointment, but things are going to be changing in your favor. Either way, things are changing in your favor. The reading does not change, except bam, there you go. Absolutely beautiful. This does not change. It's absolutely what I was reading. And it says what you contemplated. You step out in dignity, and you are maturing, and you are creating, and you are manifesting, and you are powerful, and you are successful. And bam, we have success on a greater level, because this right here, this shows beauty, maturity, stability, and this shows a great manifester. One who's prepared for all. When you're living in your Empress energy, and we have the Wheel of Fortune right before the Empress, we are talking about things are turning in your favor so much that you are making it look like you create the rain to grow your own flowers, right? People say, oh my gosh, that storm came, and hold a second, how you get fruit trees? It looked like you only had seeds. Nobody even saw the seeds. You understand? It's like things are going to turn so beautiful for you. It's going to create confusion. And look at this. Oh my gosh, look at this powerful leveling up. Spirit God. Oh my goodness. Queen of Cups. I want you to know. Thank you. Thank you. I don't need to be so emotional, because I'm recording also on my YouTube page, guys. But I cannot help it but to see that in a time that's going to affect us. With Pluto is like going into zero Aquarius also. Like the transformation and the ease, like some people are going to be surprised by it, and others are leaning in fully, because you have been doing the work. You understand? Some of you have been doing the work so great. You have been not only in the moment, you have been living in this life, and thinking, how am I going to make things better? Like I said, you've already gone to the gym. You've already changed your routines. You already started to get rid of certain bad habits in your life. You already separated yourself from people who are wasting and draining your time and your energy, right? You have stopped backbiting and withdrew from people who gossip. So the fact that they gossip about you, listen, it's disappointing at best. It's a great irritant at worst, but it's not life changing. Oh, good afternoon, Bill. I see you over here. Thank you. Thank you for showing up on my YouTube. This is a time of great growth in wonder. I'm absolutely loving this, because I'm seeing even your intuition, your spiritual downloads are going to be greater. Your ability to learn is going to be easier. You are fully leaning into this maturity and this power. You are allowing things to turn in your favor, and you are treating yourself better, and the people who care for you better, because you're creating for yourself balance in this life. And so even though your choices in the past may not have been the best, and even though in some areas in your intimate life you may have some difficulties, the Spirit is telling you that is your action in your being, in the natural maternal. And it doesn't matter if you're masculine, but it's in a loving ease. It's in the part of you that loves with ease, the part that doesn't question. That is the part of you that is going to help you sustain. Okay? Now be prepared for everything, but continue to love and love deeply. This is very important. This is very important for you. This is very important for your loved ones. It's going to be very important for your health, so that you can do well. And it also may be a warning to watch your heart, right? Because we're dealing with cancer, dealing with the heart, dealing with those kind of emotions. Be careful that you don't choose wrong associations, right? There may be, you find out some bad things about a relationship. Don't be surprised, because people are human. They may come up short on you. Okay? It's painful, but don't be surprised. Don't allow yourself to be surprised. It's like it's the dead of winter and then it snows. You're like, daggone it, I didn't get snow tires. But you knew it was winter. It can snow. So understand that anything is possible. So right now, it may be storms, it may be earthquakes, it may be It may be financial issues. So make sure that you don't overindulge on vacations and things of that nature. Make sure as you save up for those things that you save up for those rainy days also. Don't go on a vacation. I don't know why I'm saying don't go on a vacation, spend all your money and then come back and don't have money to pay your bills. You know, do things wisely. This is what this is showing also, because the fortune is going to come in your maturity and your ability to really value and really assess what's necessary. And by you doing that and still being in communing with spirit, whether you're praying, whether you're reading, whether you're getting up every day saying you're thankful, if you're thinking about what it is that you think and feel and then taking note of what's going on in your environment, you're going to level up also with your intuition, male, female, doesn't matter what sign. And understand that this is good. Your psychic abilities are also going to grow. And that nurturing, that self-nurturing that's happening is going to become more natural. And that nurturing of others. So I was told when I was younger that it was difficult to hug me. My mom told me that when I got past a certain age. And so what you have to do then is hug other people. You have to hug your children past them, because if you don't, then it becomes a painful experience. So in other words, by having that knowledge, you're able to grow past it. You're able to grow emotionally. You're able to have more love. So it's easier to love on little kids. It's harder to feel connected to older people for some reason. And this is just what has been happening. I don't know what's going on over here. Okay, let me see something. Hello, Vanessa. Hello, over here. Let me see something. Let me see. These are my viewers. Let me see something over here. I don't know. I can see people, they popped in. I can't see exactly what's going on. But this is a very good reading. And this reading is for the collective. For you guys here in the YouTube. I'm sorry, I'm also live in the Facebook. This is about the energies that are going to be created, what we're going to be dealing with. Remember that we're going to be leaning into our emotions. And when I say leaning into, we're going to lean into that, but we're going to do it with the attitude of appreciation. We're going to be gracious about it. We're going to be mindful of how we communicate and what we're communicating to other people, but we're going to allow ourselves to feel our feelings. We're going to deal with these things in our private times. If you're feeling sad, you're going to allow yourself to cry. There's no shame in that. You'll have to go through that. You have to go through that cycle in order to have what it is that you desire, in order to be able to create the life that you desire. What we love about these cards is that we know that if you're having downtime, you're going to have an uptime. If you have an uptime, you prepare for the downtime. And if you're somewhere in between, you could be on your way up or down. Be prepared for all that is possible. And if you know that you're living right and preparing for what's necessary and you're leaning into your intuition, you're going to find yourself more so emotionally fulfilled. You may find your circumstance different, but your place of being in your mind, in your heart, in your feeling is going to be more, how you say it, more at peace. It's going to be beautiful. And I want you to expect it to be beautiful. And understand that this is going to be something that everybody's going to be affected by. Some people more so than others. I don't think Librans are going to be as affected because Librans have been suffering for a while. All those signs that have been suffering for a while, who have been going through some turmoil, things are about to change. And even if things don't get necessarily better for you overnight, you're going to see where other people are also affected, kind of evening out things, which is not pleasant, but it's going to make it seem more bearable. And it's really messed up to say it that way, but it's a fact. It's going to seem more bearable because you won't feel like you're the only one. And now you will be in a position, those who have been struggling and putting in the work and everything, it will seem easier to you when others around you are falling apart. Very, not so nice to put it that way, but that's just the way it is, okay? So you, my people here in the YouTube, I want to say thank you very much for joining me. My people here in the Facebook, I'm going to continue with you guys. I don't want to make this too long because I know in the YouTube, people don't sit that long, okay? I love you. I'm going to say a prayer for everyone within the sound of my voice. I am thankful that you came, that you arrived. I hope that you received something from this. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Thank you. I'm going to grow the page. And I'm hoping that I am helpful to you. Okay? Very helpful to you. I want to be helpful to you. If there's any suggestions or questions, feel free to put them there in the comments. Thank you so much for my YouTube people. Um, and I'm praying right now that you receive what it is that you need in this time, that your path will be well lit so that you can make proper decisions for yourself. I pray also that you have harmony in your homes, love in your life, that you have peace in your life, and that your finances will be strong, that they will grow through this transition, that it may seem like something is different, but that you will see the answers and you will have all of the opportunities at this time. I'm praying for everyone within the sound of my voice, that as my vision is growing, I pray that you have it, one that you make the world around you better. And I pray that each and every one of you grow in your time in this place so that you can show up and be the hero in your life. I wish you all much love, peace, and harmony. Mwah. Thank you, my YouTube people. Thank you so much.